If you own the SCHD, the VYM, or the VTV, this is going to be the video for you. Now, when it comes to value investing, it could be one of the biggest mistakes of a portfolio if you're holding it in such a high percentage that it is not seeing the growth that you need. And the worst part, most people don't even realize this till it's costing them hundreds of thousands of dollars in returns over an extended amount of time. Now, in today's video, I want to break down all three of these ETFs, exactly what the allocation should be, and more importantly, I want to show you what they actually do, where they could overlap, and how to actually use these ETFs in the correct manner. Because this is not a which ETF is the absolute best video. That is the wrong question. The real question when it comes to investing is, what do you actually buy these for, and why do you invest in these specific ETFs? Now, if you don't understand this, if you're new to investing, you're more of guessing when it comes to your portfolio, and guessing with ETFs that feel really safe can be one of the quietest ways to underperform the market overall. So let's start with one of the biggest lies that we see with investors. I own a lot of ETFs, so I'm diversified. Not necessarily. A lot of ETFs, including these three, which again are focused on value and dividends, they hold the same underlying sectors, same type of companies, same strategy. So if you're holding all three of these ETFs, chances are you're not diversified. You're just doubling down without even realizing it. That's exactly what would happen if you own the SCHD, the VYM, and that VTV. So let's start easily with the SCHD, one of the most popular ETFs we have out there. It is a high dividend ETF. That's exactly what they lead it to, but it can be misleading because it does filter out companies that have a very strong cash flow, high return on equity, and sustainable dividends for an extended amount of time. Within this, you end up with a portfolio of about 100 companies that not only just pay dividends, but also growing those dividends consistently. That can be huge because dividend growth, not just the yield, is what can absolutely grow long-term wealth when you start looking at the compounding. So the SCHD tends to be overweight when it comes to industrial, when it comes to financial and consumer staples. These are huge ones that are very stable, very cash producing businesses that can sustain it for an extended amount of time. That is why when we start looking at the SCHD, it performs incredibly well in flat markets, uncertain environments. But here's the trade-off when it comes to this ETF. It usually lags behind when growth tech stocks are really running or dominating, which we've seen over the last 3 years. Now, when it comes to this year, value ETFs have been doing incredibly well, which may be, and depending on what exactly happens with the geopolitical landscape, could be the exact difference. SCHD, not a growth ETF, and you have to understand that. It's not a pure value either, which again, we're looking at the value side of the portfolio. It kind of sits right in the middle. Then we look at our second ETF, which is the VYM. This is where a lot of investors make very lazy assumptions. High dividend yield equals a much better investment. That's not exactly how it works. Now, with the VYM, it simply tracks a high dividend paying companies, but it doesn't screen for quality like the SCHD does, which means definitely more holdings. This ETF holds over 400 companies, more diversification, but less really precision when it comes to the execution of this portfolio. Now you're going to get solid income. You're going to get low volatility from these companies, but also a lot of average companies are going to be mixed in, not the ones that are kind of the shining stars or the best companies to invest in that have good cash flow. It is going to be a really big trade-off in here. VYM is basically a high dividend version of a much broader market, and unlike the SCHD, not optimized, not refined, just looking at that very broad market exposure that we see. So SCHD, you could almost think of it as like a pinpoint sniper rifle. VYM would be a shotgun that is just going to cover an incredible amount of companies. But then we get into the true value. Now, the VTV is where things completely shift because the VTV is not a dividend ETF like we just talked about with the VYM and the SCHD. It is pure value. It means that it is looking for specific companies, cheap based on fundamentals, low price to book ratio, relatively low evaluations on these companies. But there's always a catch when it comes to investing. Cheap does not often mean good. Sometimes stocks are cheap, and they are cheap for a reason. So unlike our SCHD, the VTV does not prioritize dividend growth. It does not prioritize the quality metrics of the company. It prioritizes valuation and valuation alone. It means you could be getting financial companies, healthcare companies, energy companies, which historically the VTV will shine when interest rates are going up, which is the environment we're not currently looking at, or when value stocks actually rotate back into favor, which of course could be underperforming for an extended amount of time. But that is, again, where the value factor comes in. Like we've seen during the massive tech boom, they will underperform, and they do underperform when we start looking at the value aspect. So now that you know the three different ETFs that we're talking about, let's get into exactly what we're looking at. Now, most people think if they own all three, it could be incredibly safe, but it doesn't. These ETFs offer and do have a lot of overlap, meaning you're owning really the same banks, the same healthcare companies, the same blue chip stocks between all three of these funds. So instead of diversifying within here, you're actually concentrating your risk without even realize it. And if one sector struggles, this entire portfolio and all three of these ETFs are going to feel it. So then the question becomes, what is the right move? Now, we have three very simple strategies when it comes to value investing. Number one, keep it very, very simple. Pick one ETF. If you're looking at the SCHD, a balance of income and growth, definitely a good contender. The VYM, broad, simple income exposure. If you're looking at the VTV, it is going to be a pure value play. For most people, SCHD will do this job alone if, again, we're looking at just the value aspect. Now, of course, you could also do a combination, something like the SCHD and the VTV. Now you're getting those quality dividend companies that we see based on growth, plus some of those undervalued companies, giving you a lot more diversification and not just on the surface level. Now, option three, you could also do SCHD as the core, do something like VYM as a small really position in there, but understand your trading efficiency for simplicity when it comes to this. Now, of course, when we start looking at all three of these ETFs and thinking bigger picture, this is the point where you have to take a step back from value, knowing that if you're younger, let's say 20s and 30s, the value in your ETF should be roughly 10 to 15%, just based on the market. If we see a pullback, these ETFs are not going to see as large of a pullback than we see with some of our tech companies. Now, if you're in your 40s and 50s, so getting a little bit closer to retirement, this should roughly be around 20 to 25% of your portfolio, depending exactly where you are and what your risk factor is, where if you're a lot more on the riskier side, this could be like a 25 to 30% of the portfolio. If you're looking at really mitigating a lot of risk, you might even lean to the 35 to 40%. Then we even go a little bit further, thinking of retirement. So let's say you're 60 plus, really looking at a lot more value. You could do 35, 45, 50, even 55% of the portfolio. That is based on value because you want to protect the principal at that point in your life. You're not willing to take on a lot of additional risk with your foundation ETFs, even looking at the aggressive ETFs or really looking to grow the portfolio. Except at this point in the game, when you start getting towards retirement, a lot more people focus on the income generation than we actually seen when it comes to, the growth and the value. So really it is about the preservation of capital once you get to that point. So here's the bottom line. Owning more than one ETF really doesn't make you a better investor. Understanding what is inside these ETFs that we're really focusing on absolutely does. Because if you don't understand exactly what you're buying, you're not building wealth. You're just stacking those ETF ticker symbols. So of course, if you want to build a portfolio that actually works long-term, not just looking good on paper, definitely subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it so we can get it out there to as many people as possible. Most investors are doing it incredibly wrong, and I want to break down each section of the portfolio before we actually wrap it up and build the entire portfolio in its entirety, because now you know exactly how to avoid it, what you need to be investing in when it comes to the value portion of the portfolio. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. I will answer to all of the comments that I get down there. And as always, thank you guys for watching.